Hi, and welcome to the Success with Savitha podcast. I'm very excited to have you here today because I know I'm looking forward to this conversation. It's going to be very different from the ones I'm used to. And it's a huge honor to have you here. I've been reading your bio. I've been looking at your work. You've had such an illustrious career. So welcome to the show and welcome to our conversation. At Wadhwani Foundation, you have a strong focus on women entrepreneurship. Can you share with us the big picture thinking behind this? While a lot of people are getting into this space, we are putting a huge amount of focus on female entrepreneurship. How do you feel that female entrepreneurship impacts the Indian economy, society, and community?
Yeah, that's a great question, Savitha. I think women entrepreneurship is actually very dear to me. And in a way, very personal to me also. And in fact, it is to all the employees at Wadhwani Foundation. But I say personal as, well, not my first, the third software startup, which went on to become successful, was actually started by my wife. Her name is Kalpa. And she had absolutely no background in software products or software engineering. But her sheer grit and determination to do something radically different made her build a really fine software company. She went on to employ close to about 200 engineers and in fact managed to convert and originally what she started as a software services company into a product company and that became one of the first few product companies out of India. So I think that is why it is very personal to me. But as such, for Wadhwani Foundation, we really strive to support entrepreneurs because they are job creators who can make a significant positive difference in emerging economies like ours. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the women entrepreneurship side. India has close to about, I would say about 430 million working age women and about 14 million women-owned businesses that are out there that provide direct employment to more than about 25 million people, right? However, very interestingly, a number of the enterprises that are reported as women-owned are not really controlled or run by women. It's a combination of financial and administrative reasons that leads to a woman being reported as a on-paper owner with little role to play in the organization. Now, if you, according to, in fact, McKinsey Global, India can potentially add close to about $700 billion into the global GDP by increasing women's participation in the labor force. In fact, by McKinsey itself, according to them, more than 44 more incremental million women will actually enter the workforce by 2030. So I mean, these are huge numbers, right? So I feel that when women entrepreneurs, women become entrepreneurs, they make a huge difference in more ways than one. Not just the economy, but as you rightly pointed out even in your question, that they bring about a transformation at a societal and community level, right? When you provide equal access to inputs, women-owned enterprises produce equally strong, and this is it's world over, right? I mean, they produce equally strong economic outcomes when compared with enterprises that are led by men. So it's not like there is any kind of inferiority over there. And what entrepreneurship does to women is something radically different, right? Which is they end up playing a pivotal role rather than just a peripheral role in the economic sphere. In fact, women that work, they often start creating a very cascading effect for other women. So what I mean by that is women are more likely to hire other women and are less influenced by gender stereotypes. Also, as women entrepreneurs experience greater financial independence, autonomy and control, it leads to an increased retention of women in the workforce, which is again very important because a lot of women, they come into workforce and then they have to leave very quickly. A majority of the women, believe working for themselves reduces their dependence on a spouse or family, and therefore an equally large number of them also view it as a means to break through the glass ceiling, which is always something that they are under. So a woman founder is also more likely to implement programs to encourage other women with potential through skill set building or training to become ready to take on more responsibilities at a higher level in the organization, including some of the revenue generating roles in sales, etc., which oftentimes in India at least you don't find a lot of women doing. And then of course as a women founder, you sort of are more empathetic towards the challenges that are faced by women, the other women, and you tend to propose fairly conducive policies like maternity leaves and extended maternity leaves, adoption policies, building of crashes in the nearby areas, or it could be just a break for a menstrual leave policy, right? So a lot of these things like that. And here I'd like to point out a particular example of a company. It's called Pick My Work. It's a startup supported by the Wadhwani Foundation, and we did that last year. It's a gig platform that gives businesses an on-demand sales force. Its co-founder is a lady called Kajal Malik, also a board member and the director in the company. And she ensures that they have more women gig workers. That's the whole vision, right? Creating more gig workers. Because you see a lot of men as gig workers, but you don't see as many women. She pushes for targets for getting women gig workers on their platform. And so this is really, we are starting to see the shift happening firsthand when we work with some of these women founders. Yeah, and one last thing that I wanted to mention is that in order to encourage women entrepreneurship, we sort of need multiple factors to work in cohesion. It's not just one thing here or there, but it's like, expansion of mentorship and networking channels for them. Tailored knowledge and capability building, which of course at Wadhwani Foundation we do. And an enabling and comprehensive policy framework that gives equal access to finance and cultural openness, right? So these are some of the things that are very, very important for women entrepreneurs.
I think you've captured everything that makes the case for investing and building, women entrepreneurship in not just our country, but across the world, because these are things that we try to capture. I'm going to, borrow your answer because you've touched upon the whole gamut of right from how, women are able to bring in more diversity because they hire the women. And that's so true because so many businesses that we work with, they are looking to hire more women.